Broadly speaking, we had three options when we set up the company. One would be to run the money ourselves, to manage the portfolio. And my role and my job as a financial planning director is, although I am qualified to give investment advice, I see myself as someone who should be focusing on client objectives, understanding their aspirations, and not on the day-to-day requirements of managing a portfolio, although I do get involved and have an input. And so one of the options we looked at would be to employ a wealth manager, an investment manager, and bring them in-house and have them as an employee of the firm. Another option was that we would ask a firm, a discretionary wealth manager, to manage portfolios and model solutions for us. And then the final option would be to employ a firm of independent investment consultants to build a portfolio for us based on our investment principles and philosophies. And Betafolio fell into that third bracket, and we decided that we wanted to work with them. Going back to the first option, which would be to employ our own investment manager, the concerns I had with that were, first of all, the cost. We would be looking at £70,000-80,000 to employ that person. But another concern I had was that we would have an element of groupthink. However autonomous that person was, we would all end up sitting in an office and thinking in the same way. And the benefit of Betafolio is that they obviously run portfolios for lots of financial planning firms. They run our portfolio aligned with our investment principles and how we think money should be managed, but they also are doing it for others. And so we have a bespoke solution, but the comfort knowing that if we did anything that they thought was really unusual and wasn't slightly in line with what others were doing, that they would tell us, and they do. And that was one of the main reasons that we had then the collective knowledge of the Betafolio team running the money in a manner that aligned with our investment principles, but we had the support of them as a group rather than just one individual with a lot of responsibility. So employing a chartered financial analyst would have cost us, as I said, 70, 80 upwards, plus benefits and bonus and all those sorts of things. So that was that one option. Then having a discretionary wealth firm, we felt that would give us issues in our independence, because if we had ABC discretionary wealth managers running money for us, then we would have to align ourselves with their house view of how money should be run. But significantly, the cost of using that firm, usually a basis points or a percentage of the portfolio, would be passed on to the client. So although there wouldn't be any direct cost to us, it would have been borne by the client themselves. The great thing about Betafolio is that they provide the service to us for a fixed cost, and we incorporate that on our bottom line. So when we show the value of the cost of our portfolios, it doesn't include the discretionary wealth management that they provide, because that's a fixed cost and is partly as part of our overheads as a business. We talked to a prospective client who has become a client of the firm recently, and their concern was, you've got this specialist team who we say are good at all the financial planning aspects, all the tax planning, all the discussions around where the client wants to be in 5, 10, 15 years, and managing wealth for their family and passing wealth down to the children, all the sort of things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And their concern was that when they compared us to much bigger firms, was that you'd have an entire floor of investment analysts and wealth managers working on a floor that would be providing a solution to that financial planner. And their concern was that in essence, is it Tom managing all my money, and what is there behind you? And without Betafolio, it would either be a discretionary team, which we wouldn't have any control of, so ABC Wealth Management, and we would be selling their portfolios. And what we were able to say is, look, there's this team of individuals led by Abraham. We've got Daniel as an investment analyst, who is our designated individual on a day-to-day basis. And then you've got the sort of strength in numbers of the fact that they're managing hundreds of millions of pounds for financial planners all over the country. And also from a regulatory point of view, if anybody comes and talks to us, as the regulator sometimes does, we have a process, we have a philosophy that we can explain, and we've got people auditing us and following that process. And it's not just in-house, we've got support from experts providing that to us. I think the structure has been helpful. It saves a lot of time. There's various things you have to do from a regulatory perspective, and they provide that almost out of a box for us, so that we've got all that documentation ready. If clients want to understand, in more detail how we've constructed the portfolio, that information is available. And also, there's a control panel where all this information, all these documents are held, and in there they put all the background analysis of the funds that they've selected and why they've selected them. So that's all there, readily available and available in a document to send to a client. And that saved us hundreds of hours a year that we would either have to employ somebody to do or do ourselves. Absolutely, and we've also got a story to tell. So our portfolios are called Navigate. They are invested in a way that we think money should be managed, and we can explain that now. So we own the intellectual property to Navigate, and people can decide whether Navigate is or isn't for them, and they can understand the story behind that portfolio. But we've also got the academic rigor and robust nature of a team of individuals whose job is risk management, compliance, regulatory framework, and all those sorts of things. So we have the essence of what makes the portfolios, we say, successful and an excellent way to invest your money. But behind that is all the day-to-day stuff that is of less interest to us, but vital also in terms of the regulatory requirements.